Good morning, everybody. Ooh, slept late last night, and I'll tell you all about it in a moment. It's Saturday, guys. Hopefully, you guys are having a great weekend so far, especially those whose Saturday has already started. For some of you guys out there in the other regions, it's already the evening. And right now, just connecting all the chats. Oh, you know what's funny, guys? Just give me a moment. Oh, now it seems like they fixed something here. So I'm just going to just take this quick moment. And get this connected. Right now it's 8:02 in the morning on a pretty sunny day in Florida. And there's been some really interesting releases, I have to say, in the tech world. Change that. There we go. We'll end up closing a couple of these out. I think we're almost all set here. There we go. And we are just about to go live. What's up, fam bam? What's up, guys? It is a beautiful day here in Florida. Right now it's about 8:03 in the morning. Not too bad of a start time. And I gotta say, make sure my mic's on. I have to say, I stayed up last night to end up go seeing. Me and my wife, we ended up going to see Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Arc, and I gotta say, it was an excellent movie. Definitely suggest everybody to go see it. Luckily, we were able to pre-order these tickets like almost a month ago, so we were able to see it pretty much like on the third day about. But it was a great movie, I have to say, and it's pretty long. So if you definitely plan it, make sure it's not too late, because it's like about 2 hours and a half, I think it is. Maybe 2 hours, 2 hours and a half about. But, and there is going to end up being 2 more arcs on that movie anyway. But what's up, guys? Hopefully you are all connected here. What's up, Ruby? Good to see you. What's up? Let's see. Let me get this chat all ready and connected here. There we go. Yes, sir. That's right. There's the chat. And if anybody out there is building a PC, let me know. Feel free to ask any questions about it. Gigabyte has made an announcement on some new motherboards, which are quite exciting. They could go up to, I believe, about 84 to 8600 mega transfers. And it can give you as much of a increase in performance up to 25% when it comes to gaming. And on top of it, the BIOS is pretty much reworked, completely redesigned. It also has features such as BIOS drivers and compared to just BIOS firmware. What's up, Bob? What's up, Bob Ferd? What's up, Takuma? Good to see you. And I have to say, it's pretty exciting for that to release. It seems like they also have ICE editions already for it. There's 4 different variations that I will show you guys in a bit. And it seems that NVIDIA isn't going to release the Supers, allegedly, for this upcoming CES of 2026. If they're not going to release it, then it's going to end up being released much later. And they also took down the Founders Editions for both the RTX 5080 and the 5090 on their website. So, unfortunately, it's unable for purchase to be able to get any of the Founders Editions. And it seems like they're kind of slowing down their production a bit when it comes to the GPU side. So, if you're alarmed about it, I wouldn't be really too alarmed about this situation. More than likely, they're going to be very focused on their AI development more than anything. And they're definitely not going to end up abandoning the whole gaming side when it comes to PC building. So anyway, what's up, Jamal? Good to see you. Fellow Tractor. Yes, 3D boards look nice, but I'm dreading the price. They are a bit pricey. I'm too broke for a PC. That's okay, Ruby. One step at a time. I suggest anybody who does want to build a PC, just save say 100 or 200 USD and be able to get a component at a time. That way you can end up building a PC in the end. That's what most people do anyway when they put together a PC, because the most important aspect when getting the PC, of course, is the GPU, especially if you want to go for the gaming side. If you're more into video editing and photo editing, obviously you're going to need a great CPU for that. We can't see your face, sir. Oh, let me adjust it for you guys. That should be much better, and that should be well adjusted. There you go. Hopefully you can see it. So move your mic to the right a bit. Half of you is cut. I gotcha. I ended up moving out the screen, so hopefully you guys can see it better. If there's any issues, feel free to obviously say in the chat, and I do talk to the chat if you do have any questions about anything really. And with the whole PC building side, I have to say I am very determined to do a stealth build. I want to get to contact some of these brands a little bit later, about next week, to see where they are. And if we don't get anything soon, we'll start to take a plan of action and start to really get an idea of what to do with this whole stealth build. And what this stealth build is called Project Ninja. What we are planning is a full blackout build, and on top of it, we want it to be really silent. That's the whole point of it. Not everybody out there likes RGBs, so I think this would definitely be a great take on a opposite version of RGB PC, such as the one you see right here in the back. What's up, Boaz? Still needs adjustment? Gotcha. You know what? I'll just end up moving the camera back. It's probably a little bit too close to me, to be honest. That way you can get a better view of what's going on. Adjust the mic a bit. There we go. Hopefully that's much more clear there. Because I know sometimes if the camera is a bit too close, it's going to really make the verticals look really awkward and strange for the most part. So that's the plan for the stealth build so far. More than likely, it's not going to have any type of like glass casing onto the side of it. If there might be, depends. And I'm thinking Noctua fans for the build, and we're probably not going AIO, or maybe. It just all depends on what the best features are, but I have an idea of the type of concept I would like for it to come out with, such as a fractional design case. I think would really go well or blend well with a stealth build, don't you guys think? So under the best CPU, what is the best CPU for the 5080 under 400 euros? So for under 400 euros, the best CPU you can really get for the 5080, either if you're not in a rush to get a CPU, I would highly recommend getting the 9600 X3D once it releases. I know it's not released yet. We've actually tried to look for it about a couple weeks ago. Yeah, about a couple weeks ago in a Micro Center, even here in the US, and we don't have it. And more than likely, they're going to end up pushing it for a little bit later, more likely in November, December. European region more than likely will face a very similar release date. And I would highly suggest wait for that if you don't have a PC built together just quite yet. But if you do have a PC built together and or you're in a rush to really get a CPU, then I would highly recommend you could get more than likely maybe a 90, I would say like a 9700X would be pretty decent. And I'm assuming that you're mostly using it for gaming. Is that correct? So we only see your shoulder. Oh, really? Is that true, Jamal? Even worse? Really? That's strange. Oh, okay. You know what? Let me go ahead and fix this connection here. There we go. Let me go ahead and fix this connection here. So, anyway. Hopefully that works there. Oh, I know why. So, but yeah, that would certainly be the best plan to go ahead with. Go with a 9700X. And then more than likely you're good. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. Now you should be good. So, AMD Ryzen 9700X, yes. Now, I'm not in a rush waiting for the 5080 Super 2, so I'll wait. Yes, the thing about the Supers, the biggest change that's going to happen amongst them, or maybe the reason why they delayed it, is because they want to end up doing something a little bit different. They want to end up maybe changing up the boost speeds, or maybe even the clock speeds, the regular clock speeds on these cards, because so far the specifications when it came to the Super weren't going to be that different. More than likely it was going to end up being a replacement for the already 5070 and the 5070 Ti, same with the 5080. They were just going to be really replacements for them. The only real difference that I can say about the Super was going to end up being the VRAM. The 5070 was supposed to get about 20 gigabytes of VRAM, about 18 to 20 gigabytes of VRAM. 5070 Ti allegedly was going to get up to 24, and even the 5080 was going to get up to about 24 gigabytes, which is certainly, I feel, the best sweet spot, especially for gamers out there. If you are looking to game on a 4K PC, or if you're looking to game not PC, but more of a display, 4K display with a high refresh rate monitor, those would be the best ones to certainly get. Now, we have the same idea. Absolutely. That's the only, because that's the only real processor you can get with the 5080. And more than likely, the funny thing is, I realized that I hope the 9600X 3D does end up getting released, because I think that's going to be that's definitely going to be one hell of a processor once that ends up being released. The X3D will certainly be able to fulfill your needs. Now, something that everybody is looking forward to or may have questions about is the upcoming 10000 series when it comes to AMD series. And this might be part of it. This might be the idea of why Gigabyte is coming out with these new motherboards. It seems like a good indication of it. And we're going to certainly see a lot more other motherboards that will be released. I do certainly expect some from ASUS, because they certainly always like to answer. MSI usually likes to answer with these type of motherboards. Sapphire just recently entered the game. I'm really excited to see what they have to offer. And ASRock, I think we're all a bit questionable about them still, especially because it seems that they're still having issues when it comes to CPU burning into their motherboards. Once again, they do have a BIOS update for anybody out there that does have a ASRock board. They certainly have a BIOS update, especially if you are holding a 9800X 3D in it. I highly recommend to certainly update the BIOS. Unfortunately, it seems like this issue has occurred. It actually occurred with the same user who had their processor burnt once before from ASRock, and now it just happened again, which is pretty ridiculous for the most part. And I wonder if he's really going to end up sticking with ASRock because of it. If I know most people out there, if they run into the same issue twice, they're not going to really want to stick around with the company, which is perfectly understandable, as who wants to really purchase a product which is defective. So my PC is running without a GPU. Yes, it can certainly be done. What type of GPU are you interested in one? I saw that the 7800 X3D gets more FPS on the 1440p. I game on the 1440p and the 7900X. Okay, so it could happen just because the 7800 X3D does have the extra CCD in there to certainly be able to get you more frames because of it. For the 7800 X3D, you can certainly get it if you can get a good price point for it. If it's under 400 euros, I would definitely go for that. But again, I also highly recommend the 9600 X3D once that does get released, because I think that's going to certainly answer a lot of gamers' needs. And I think a lot of people will certainly be surprised by the type of numbers that this CPU will certainly pull. It's going to pull at least nearly the same, or pretty much be on the same level as a 7800 X3D, but for a great deal. And of course, a more current processor from AMD. Now, with these new AMD processors, if anyone's curious, it is also rumored that these new 10,000 Ryzen processors will also have the best silicone and even extra CCDs, which is something that we've been really looking forward to the 3D line, which means that you get a bit more space when it comes to, say, the L2 cache, which is something that would be nice. Instead of going from 32 megabytes, it'll be even pushed up to 48 megabytes. And because if you have another CCD stacked on another one, you can certainly expect better numbers because of it. And it's also going to be compatible with everybody out there that does have a AM5 board. So if you have, say, a B650, or you have a A620, just say, or any of these boards, like a X870E, you will certainly be able to have the compatibility when it comes to Ryzen's 10,000 series. So hopefully we will get a bit more news on it. It seems promising. So far, we're hearing a promise of uplift of at least 15% when it comes to these processors. So I can't imagine how it's going to be, especially once they start focusing on the AM6 line. So, Chris, your OBS screen size is kind of too small. Sure. My OBS screen size. Let's see. On what side here? What size? Squeeze. So in my country, 7800 X3D is 350 euros. Okay, it sounds like you definitely want to get your hands on it. So, Boaz, I have to say, on your PC, or have you your PC put together just quite yet, or is it just a PC that you're already currently using? I have to ask. Check on your stream. Huh. Okay, I'll definitely check it out. Let me see. It's weird. On OBS, it seems okay for the most part, but let me see. I will definitely check it out here, and we'll see if we can adjust this issue on the live. Now, is this on the vertical, or is this directly on the horizontal format? Let's check it out here. It's connecting, and oh, I see. Is it? I'm assuming you're talking about the horizontal format. It's also, if you're wondering why it's kind of like has that like cut off look to it, that's because it's also set an ultra wide. Well, I might end up switching it back to the other view, especially this upcoming next stream for the most part, because I have to say I feel like it's not going to be really beneficial for everybody out there to keep it on the ultra wide setting. That's why it looks like a weird box shape, if that's what you're asking. But once you put it into full screen, then it will cut out the bottom and the top borders. Usually this is more of a fitment for those who also have ultra wides, but I feel that it's probably not going to be as useful, so I'm going to end up switching it back over to the other format as soon as probably next week. I can't switch it over now, unfortunately, because otherwise then the stream ends up getting cut off because of it. Okay, so I have a 3060 and a 5600X on the AM4 platform, so it's becoming rough with new games. Oh, it's smaller than usual. Really? Oh, really? That's strange. Let me see if I could make it a bit bigger for you guys. No, I think if I do make it a bit bigger, what'll happen is it'll end up just being oversized. But I can take a look. Smaller than usual. Nah, that just makes it pretty much smaller. I could try to fill the gap and hopefully that's a bit better there. I can do something like that. There you go, guys. Hopefully that's a bit better there. So, when is the highest CPU I can use it for a B450? What's up, Pac-Man? Good to see you. Isn't that like a 8th to 9th gen B450? B450, let me see. Wow, that's a throwback right there, I gotta say. But B450, that would be something like a you could probably run a still the 3000 series, because I think it was, let me just double check it. Well, now I'll do it on the next stream with the new format. Yes, I certainly will. All right, let's take a look right here. We will start to go into browse mode here. Okay, so you have a B450 and you have the B560. Let's switch over, guys. We're going to the stream browser here. So, what type of B450 do you have? Like to say, what is your model? Because this is going to be based on AM4, and it's going to be more than likely. I would highly recommend getting a 5800X3D if you get your hands on it, if it's for gaming. Is that what you plan on using it for, is gaming? Or are you more of a video editor and a photo editor or some sort of content creation type of deal? If you have something like that, then you're going to need a different CPU for that case. And yours is the B560. It's like the B450 Pro Max 2. Okay, so let's look up your board. And what's your use that you would like to use for it? Here it is. Some can run the Ryzen 5000 series, but I am not sure. Yeah, it should be able to. If you go with the 5000 series, you still, with this motherboard, you're certainly going to have to update it. Because with this motherboard, this one's a decent motherboard, I gotta say, for the most part. But if you go 5000 series, I'd certainly update the BIOS. Now, a lot of these motherboards, if you're really curious, say if your PC's not built yet or anything like that, you can actually even flash a BIOS without a CPU. Usually I don't suggest it for someone that's new at building PCs, but it can be done if you do want to install 5000 series, or if you don't really want to touch the BIOS at all and you just want to start it up. The best suggestion then would be going down to the 3000 series. Then it would be good to get like something like say like a 3800X or something. Well, mines don't have the DVI. So for productivity, okay. For product, Is content creator AMD or Intel? Any pros and cons on both Intel or AMD? So, what's up, Wasabi? Good to see you. Good morning. Glad that you're here. Both you and Takuma are both here. And that's a great question, I can say. Let's switch back real quick. I could use an IO shield on mine. So that's all right. Sometimes it's we rock without the IO shield. The good thing is a lot of new motherboards, they're practically going to be pre-installed on there, so you could pretty much put it in there with like the whole motherboard, and you don't have to worry about putting on the plate. But that's funny though, that you still have you have a motherboard without one. You could honestly still use it. It's just you just got to be really careful. You have to really be careful of plugging in anything on the back of your ports, obviously, if that's the case. So you can run the 5000 series, but you must yes. What's up, Low Kim Wen? So I can use, yes. Well, maybe you could even get one on eBay, if anything. So, Nightspace, to answer your question, let me answer Nightspace's question real quick. Is content creator, AMD or Intel? Any pros and cons on both Intel and AMD? Now, I can say that there is actually some pros and cons when it comes to the both of them when it comes to the content creation space. Now, I can say if you're more into like content creation, more into like saying doing things like such as Premiere Pro, or you're more into Adobe type of products, Intel is the better choice because a lot of software is built around Intel, unfortunately, when it comes to that side. So AMD can do it just as well, but it's just not going to perform as well to Intel's. Now, when it comes to the whole streaming side, AMD is pretty much on par for the most part when it comes to the streaming side, because more or so it's going to rely more on your graphics on that side. DaVinci also relies a bit more on graphics as well if you are more of a DaVinci Resolve type of guy. But for the most part, Intel is great with content creation because everything is very focused on to the Intel side versus on AMD. So but if you want to go AMD, it can work just as well. You just don't have the equal performance as it does on an Intel processor. So, mine came up missing. Gotcha. Baratram, good to see you. Oh, thanks, Kim Wen. Welcome in. I'm glad that you are subscribed to the channel. Wasabi no Gemu. Yes, good afternoon. It's afternoon for you guys, right? You guys are, I think it's 6 hours ahead for you guys from where I'm at. So, which processor is better? So, go ahead, ask the question. What type of processor are you asking for? Are you asking between the AMD series lineup, like maybe like a 9600X over, say, a 7600X, or do you mean just like, and you want to know more info about AMD and the Intel side of processors? So I just got Affinity this week. Time to start learning how to make thumbnails with new software. That's awesome. Let me know how you like Infinity. I gotta say, I actually almost went with them about a couple years back. I ended up sticking with Adobe because they offered me a really good deal, so I couldn't really turn down that deal. But again, I feel like I would like to switch to just Infinity and Resolve. And if that's what you're doing, let me know. Let me know how you like it. 8 hours, really? That much of a difference? I didn't know you guys were, for some reason I thought you guys were like 6 hours apart. So I have an i5 14440F with a 4060. When should I upgrade? Okay. So if you do mean a 14400F, I think you mean. Yes. When you should upgrade, how do you feel? What do you use it for in the first place, I gotta say? Do you use it for more of content creation, or are you using it more for gaming, I have to say? And if you are, let me know the type of display that you are using it for, and then from there we can get an idea of how your build is. But more than likely, you're probably going to end up mostly good if it's just for gaming. But again, need more details? Is it going to be based on, are you planning to upgrade your monitor anytime soon? That type of stuff. So, hey Chris, please upgrade your video quality to 2K or 4K, man. And also thanks in advance. I would love to, but unfortunately, YouTube does not allow, or any other of these platforms don't have really 4K. Right now, it's actually in, I believe it should be in 2K. But I will definitely take a look at it. I do appreciate the feedback. So, no problem, Bartram. So it is 6 hours. Okay. No problem. So 8 hours ahead was Switzerland to Japan. It's so funny too, because like when you're on that other side of the world, it was almost like when I was in Taiwan, it was like a little bit over a month ago when I was over in Taiwan. I remember the time difference was actually not that different. It was almost like, I think you guys at the time were 6 hours, instead of being 6 hours ahead, I think you guys were more like, what was it? Just like you said, just about 8 hours. I think it was 6 or 7 hours right before Taiwan when I was there, if I'm not mistaken. But I do remember that. That was pretty hilarious for the most part, because when I was on stream, I was thinking, when I was streaming like 7 p.m. there, I was thinking it's 7 in the morning, I know, in the US. And then for you guys over there, I'm thinking, oh man, it's probably midnight. But then I realized, oh wait, I'm on the opposite side, so it's actually backwards. So, oh, you want to go 4K gaming? That's a completely different beast. If anything, I would say the first thing you need to focus on, Nightspell, is going to be upgrading your GPU then. Your 4060 won't have the real full capability of pushing 4K. What's the minimum frames you do expect? I'm assuming 4K 60. If you want to go 4K 60, I would highly recommend, if you could get your hands on one, they're probably going to be more expensive too, is like getting like something like a 4090 would be nice. Like it's still in the 40 series, but it won't be as expensive. Or like even like I just wish the 5080 just had more VRAM. Unfortunately, 5080 would certainly be the way to go, I would say, if you want to go, say, 4K. If anything, the processor, you don't have to worry about really upgrading. Just the GPU is really the main component you want to upgrade for the most part. It would be nice to upgrade the processor in the future, but again, not necessary. Yeah, Taiwan is 6 hours ahead. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought so. The horizontal, the video quality is 720, and the 1080p would be nice. Really? That's interesting. You know what it is I think it's because I'm multi-streaming on other platforms too, such as I'm also on Twitch, I'm also on Twitter and everything. So that's probably causing maybe a split between my internet, and I really hate Comcast for that. I really hope that I do end up getting some type of fiber optics where I am. Ironically, I'm currently watching somebody's house, so but luckily on their side they have fiber optics, so when I use it for, say, uploading videos or doing anything, it's so great compared to using, well, what I'm using now with Comcast. But yes, absolutely, it's funny, we just spoke about that earlier too, about the Gigabyte's lineup. And they came out strong, I gotta say, for the most part. And have you guys seen the external GPU that they have? Like, I'll share that with you guys too. That's pretty decent. When do you know when the motherboard goes bad? Most of the time, the motherboard doesn't really go bad. Motherboards, when you have indications of a motherboard going bad, it's usually going to be like a series of failures of different drivers for the most part. It's almost going to look like your power supply failed, but it's going to end up being other issues, such as like maybe you're not getting, say, like Bluetooth connectivity, or some weird drivers are missing that you don't really realize, but you get a bunch of them into your hardware info when you check it out. Usually that's a good indication that the motherboard's starting to go, but I gotta say, for the most part, especially nowadays, it's going to be pretty rare to run into bad motherboards. You'll probably run into a bad power supply or a bad, like even, I would even run into a bad GPU more than a bad motherboard, I would say. So, Borderlands 4 is hitting 4K 60 with DLSS on performance. That's hilarious. So really, that's insane. And you have a great build too, Takuma, for the most part. So that just shows you how Unreal Engine 5 is really performing, because it seems like it's been quite disastrous, and hopefully this completely changes around, because they were pushing again Unreal Engine 5.6. That was like the latest update that they had. And then from there, they said they took out like so many different bugs, but then again, we still don't see it, obviously, in Borderlands. And the crazy part is that they were going to originally charge everybody $80 for the game, but then they actually backtracked it and said, hey, instead of charging $80, we're going to charge the normal $70 price, but we won't push these $80 prices on gaming until the holidays of 2025. So allegedly next month we might see a difference when it comes to gaming pricing, but we'll see. We'll see if they will end up really pushing up the pricing when it comes to gaming. So, honest and serious question: should I go for the Gigabyte Stealth motherboard, or should I save money and scoop the White Arrow 5070 Ti for my white build? Now, that's a great question, Wasabi. Now, for the most part, I have to say, okay, yeah, I've seen your motherboard collection, I gotta say, in the first part. You have plenty of motherboards. But I'd say, to be honest, I would say save money and go with the 5070 Ti. That certainly would be the better option. I don't think you need any more motherboards, to be fair. So, hey, please give this live at least 3 times a week. Very helpful. Absolutely. I will definitely put it into my list. I would love to push it out more. This week, let me focus that on my face. This week has been pretty hectic, for the most part, going back and forth from houses. So it will be much more improved, especially for this upcoming week. I'll be able to do some adjustments that I would like to do for the lives, which would be great. So I have a 600 watt power supply. Okay, so if you have a 600 watt power supply, I would highly suggest to upgrade it if you are going to plan to upgrade your GPU for the most part. So if you are going with the 5080, I would upgrade to at least a 1000 watt GPU, especially if you start to add more things to it. I appreciate it, Simply Takuma. You can see the 4K RTX 5090 chart up on the Tech Power Up, and it's very hilarious how the FPS is running, really. So that's what we'll end up doing. Thank you for subscribing, Rehawk. I appreciate it. And for anybody that is enjoying the stream, make sure to give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe. And there's also a free Discord server where we all love to talk PC and tech. And if you have any personal questions, you want to post photos, or even get a chance to get interviewed on a live, you feel free to join the Discord down in the description box down below. So, what processor would you recommend? I was thinking about absolutely, 9700X is a great choice. I feel that a lot of these high-powered processors definitely get blown out of proportion. Not everybody's going to need a 9900X or a 9950X3D or any of these type of processors, unless they are going to really be using it hardcore for more than just gaming. You have to be using it for much more work, I would say. Much more of a workflow, such as like content creation. So let's go ahead and take a look. We will switch over to the browser. So we're switching over to the browser here. We're going to take a look at this Tech Power Up Borderlands 4 number. Because for the most part, it's going to look pretty rough from what I'm hearing. And you're talking about 32 gigabytes of VRAM on a 5090. It's an expensive card. for tech power up. What's up, Dave S? I'm glad to see that you're here. No X3D processor. Well, the best out there would be 97. Yes, for the most part. Thanks so much, Wasabi. You know I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Much love to you guys. All right, so here we are in Tech Power Up here. So the Borderlands 4 performance benchmark review, plus 30 plus GPUs tested. So let's zoom in real quick here. Let me go just like that for you guys so you guys can see it. I apologize for that. Let me take that highlight off real quick so you guys can see it right there on the stream. So the conclusion wise, yes, I've been great, Amir. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for showing up. Borderlands 4 takes serious in the true open world territory for the first time, and I'm loving the changes. Okay, so we get that. So he's having a great time. It seems like playing Borderlands 4. The core gameplay loop is incredibly addictive. Actually, it's tempting me to go for a purchase if it's that good. Okay, so let's go ahead and go down to the performance benchmarks here, because that's what we're curious about. All right, so here's the performance benchmarks here. So I thought the X3D was used for gaming. Normal X models were used. Yes, X models are used for usually work purposes. A reason why I used X3D as an example is because some people obviously like the game and also like to do productivity use. So something like the 9950 X3D would be great for gaming and great for those who would say like to stream or like to be able to edit videos. But that is great to bring up. I wouldn't use like something like a 9600 X3D or a 7600 X3D if for something like for any type of other usage, such as you would with a higher processor. So on Borderlands 4, really, that's it. So for Badass, which is going to be top of the line performance, it only gets 101.5 frames. That's ridiculous. That's a high-end card, especially in 1080p, only getting 101 frames. That is insane. What? Okay, so that's a custom scene. All right, let's go down. All right, so for 1440p, no, you weren't kidding, Takuma. This is rough. 76.6 FPS at 1440p. Why don't you see this 9060? That's a great question. The 9060. That's probably, yeah. They didn't post it. Oh, right there. 26.7? Jeez. That's rough. But again, this is at their TPU custom scene at Badass Performance. You can see the chart with Borderlands 4 with upscaling like DLSS and FG. Thanks again, Takuma. Upscaling like DLSS and FG, but look up the FPS. Laughing my ass off. Which is what oh my gosh. I am scared to look at it with the Okay, so let's go with the DLSS side. So this is going to be based on performance. This is a minimum FPS, which doesn't really matter as much. It matters, but let's see what the upscaling here. So this has the DLSS on it. And this is going to be based on, okay, so this has frame generation on it currently. At 4K DLSS quality at 243 frames. Okay, and that is going to be based on, again, DLSS quality with frame generation at X4. So they really want you to take advantage of the frame generation. But the real question is, how well, what's up, El Capitano? Good to see you, which is what I have. Okay, so let's take a look down here. We're going to look, because Borderlands is based on, is really based on mostly the NVIDIA cards. Because actually, if you purchase a new NVIDIA card currently, you can get Borderlands 4 with it. So if you don't have a GPU and you want a GPU with NVIDIA, well, you can get Borderlands, but we're getting an idea of how the performance is looking. Yeah, he certainly is. So, I gotta say, thanks again to Kuma, and thank you guys for everyone that is donating for the most part. And take a look at the RX 9060 XT, 8 gigabytes. It's funny because the guy Tom from AMD, not Tom, Frank. I think Frank Azor was saying that we don't need anything more than 8 gigabytes. Well, take a look at this. This is with scaling on the 9060 XT, 8 gigabytes, 1080p native, which is insane. Only 31 frames per second. Hopefully everyone does see that. I'm going to drop that down a bit for the chat to see that. Take a look at that. Isn't that ridiculous? So, 8 gigabytes. Here goes one. This one's an interesting one. FSR quality at 75 frames. Now, my question is, anybody out there who has Borderlands for AMD, I have to say, is it on FSR 4 or is it currently still on FSR 3? I have to say, or if anybody else that just went into the settings happened to see FSR 3 or FSR 4, such as Takuma, have you seen that as well? I am curious. Now, it says RX 9070 XT at 1440p with FSR quality is at frame generation with 152 frames, which is pretty insane. You burned the 9070 XT and the RX 9060 XT. It's a shame. See, this isn't. I have to say though, I have to throw this input in there. Now, it's really sad, I gotta say, that the cards are performing this way, but also I feel like the developers have not really done well at optimizing the game for the most part when it comes to it. Now, I can't just say the developers, but it also has to be the Unreal Engine 5 that they are currently using, which is causing these issues. I was looking forward to getting Borderlands 4, but after this video, nope. I don't blame you. Played Borderlands once for Xbox 360, never found the game appealing. I don't like the art style nor the gameplay. I kind of felt the same way, and that's what kind of like turned me off from the series. But hearing Takuma was interested in it, I was somewhat interested when he mentioned it. But now seeing this is pretty sad for the most part. 5070 Ti, 1440p with frame generation. Remember, this is with frame generation. It's 224 frames with DLSS quality. This isn't like top-notch quality either. This is the all upscaling. And even the RTX 5060 Ti is only getting 37 frames with 1080p at DLAA. Now it's with 1080p native, 36 frames. So that tells you right there that it performs better, certainly when it comes to when you add some performance to it. So if you put it on max scale on an 8GB 5060 Ti, 8 gigabytes on 1080p with DLSS quality, with frame generation, you can get 175 frames. But without any of this technology, really, you're only going to push up to, even just with just regular DLSS with frame generation at 2 times, is 98. Is this what we've become? Is this the society we've become to the point where we have to add frame generation in order to really enjoy the frame rates of a game? Which is very sad. What's up, Zay? Feel free to shoot and ask. I will test it on the RTX 5090 and I will try to reach 144 frames. And making a gameplay video with Riva-Tuner on. Please do. Will be awesome. If you don't mind, I would definitely love to share it over on Discord. And if anybody out there wants to join the Discord server, it's completely free. Feel free to join. If you have any tech questions, you want to share your PC build, you want to, if you have any very specific questions when it comes to your build, come to the Discord channel right down in the description box down below. And if you're on another channels or another platform, such as if you're on Twitter, aka X, or if you're on, if you're also on Twitch, you can certainly find the channel, or you can find the Discord by going to chrismizo.com, just like how it's spelled. And you can click Discord on the website and it will take you into the server. So, Zay, let's answer Zay's question real quick, guys. Hey, I got a 16th terabyte Dell hard drive, and it makes a clicking sound upon startup, and then when it makes a tiny click sound upon every 2 seconds interval. Is this still usable? I gotta say, it's when something like that does usually happen to a hard drive, it's going out very soon. So I wouldn't suggest using it. More than likely, it's going to be an issue within the hard drive internally. Now, if you want to, you could. I don't usually suggest it if you haven't taken a hard drive apart before, but you can, since this one's going bad anyway. You can take a look, see what is usually going to be like a needle that's like loose, or if you have to replace something in there, you can. But again, the parts are probably going to be very sparse for it. If you do take apart that hard drive and do repair it and put it back together and then hope it works, that's one way you can do it. But other than that, I wouldn't rely on it to store anything of significant storage that you would rely on, because usually that's going to be an indication that that hard drive is going. So Borderlands 4 is the new Crisis. Will it run? Pretty much. I will send the link in Discord. Yes. Will it run at Borderlands 4? Yes. It's going to be the new performance standard. Will it run? Pretty much a lot of games are like that. If you look at, like, especially with Unreal Engine 5, you test Monster Hunters with it even. It's kind of like that. But again, we were discussing that earlier, how it has its own type of engine, which wasn't that great either. And also, a lot of people used the standard when they were pushing Cyberpunk 2077 originally. But now it's been optimized very well now. But certainly Borderlands 4 is going to be the test point for anyone's new PC rig. So if anybody does build a PC, and the best part is you get practically a free benchmark if you if you build a PC, because especially if you use a NVIDIA card, if you use an NVIDIA GPU for your build, you get a free benchmark practically with your build. And what do I mean? Which benchmark do you get? You get Borderlands 4. That's what you get. So, how is the 5600G CPU? It's a decent GPU. CPU. It's a decent CPU to have. But again, I wouldn't really recommend it to really push graphics on there. It's not going to be as great as you think. Just for example, again, going back or reverting back over to Borderlands 4 here, if you use the 5600G onto Borderlands 4, you'll probably be very disappointed. So, but other than that, if you are just using it for the cores, you can. The only sacrifice you do end up losing out is on some. You do end up losing some PCI Express, I think, out of it because of the usage on it. But again, it's not going to affect you significantly if you're not using a ton of, like, say, SSDs on your motherboard. But if the 5600G is the best you can get it. I usually recommend getting a GPU also still, if you plan on using it for, say, gaming. So, or is it too much data transfer at that state? Okay, so is it, let me revert back here. How much data, you didn't mention exactly how much data you were transferring over. So how much data is it transferring over? But either way, it shouldn't be clicking in the first place. Because, again, clicking will be indication that the hard drive is failing. So as far as I know, so far Expedition 33 has been the best game on Unreal Engine 5. Absolutely. And I gotta say, I feel the developers really spent the time to really develop that game. And that's one of the games I actually have to go back on. I really gotta really finish up Expedition 33. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then I ended up getting stuck on Elden Ring. I feel like I haven't really got the game in a little while. I really want to be able to game, but I'm stuck watching this house at least until tomorrow, which is going to be nice. Finally, I can get back to normal and put a lot of focus into fixing up the studio and once again going back onto gaming. I'm still in the return window. Oh, okay. So you have the CPU currently. So what was your plans with the 5600 G CPU, I have to ask? Because if you were going to use it just say strictly just for gaming, you can. I mean, not for gaming, but if you're just using it just for its process, you can. But if you are still getting a GPU, then that's also great. Hey, is the Intel i5 13400 good to go for Unreal? Well, if you're not going to be using it for gaming, I'm assuming. Not the processor as a GPU, I'm assuming. And if it's a 13400, more than likely it's not going to have the Intel graphics built into it. But I mean, if you're just using it as a side, like the processor as with the GPU, it can work perfectly fine. A lot of games really rely more on single core process than multi-core process. Oh, I mean the return when. Oh, sorry, I got mixed up there. The return window of the 16 to. Oh yeah, I would certainly return it. Switch it up. Is it? I have to ask you, what type of hard drive is it? Is it Seagate? And why Mafia TOC is running better? Because the world is smaller. That's true too. How is that game, Mafia? I have to say, that was one of the games I wanted to try out. Don't get integrated graphics unless you need it. Absolutely. Anybody out there who is thinking of gaming on a processor, it's definitely going to be the worst gaming experience of your life. I will tell you right now, unless you are just desperate, like if it's just temporary, that you're just planning to get the CPU for now, just so you can game on it temporarily. Even then, it's just better to get just like a regular CPU. Like say you go with a 13700K or something, and you just hold it until you get a GPU. That's honestly the better choice if you had the option to. Where did you get in Elden Ring? You know what's funny? I'm still stuck on the Godskin Duo because I haven't really got any real game time in. Again, because I've been watching this house, so I haven't really been like getting to game as much as I want to. Like as soon as I finish the stream, I gotta go back over and help our friends watch their dog, which isn't a problem. I don't mind it at all, and especially they helped us out a lot too, watching Jonah like while we were gone in Taiwan. But I can say I can finally get back to gaming tomorrow, like once we get back, and hopefully we can get back early. It just depends on when their parents are coming back because they're supposed to take over the house and watch over their house then, and from there it should be pretty much back to normal. The Ryzen 5 8700G is a good APU. It is a good APU, but again, it's just like, yes, it gets like 1658 performance. Ironically, I got to try that out at CES, and and you know what's funny? They used a what was that game again? Bethesda. They came out with this game, the space game. Damn. And it wasn't that great though. Starfield. They had Starfield demoed on a 8700G, and I got to say it was quite impressive. But this was a couple of years back, and I got to say it's more than likely going to hold well. Just don't, if you really again want to test out your APU, just put Borderlands 4 on it. So I want a multitasking PC. Okay, so your goal is more multitasking. What type of multitasking? What type of work is it that you're planning to do? And then we can certainly figure it out what we need to do. Well, Mafia: The Old Country is like a movie. You get 7 hours of cutscene and then 7 hours of gaming. But so far, I come only 2 chapters. Must play again. Oh, it sounds like the type of game I would certainly like. I certainly like games where they are a bit cinematic, for sure. Get a 9600X instead of 5600G. It's just a little more money. Absolutely, if you can, go with the 9700X. Do it. It's 100% worth it. We actually did a build based on a 9600X with a AMD Radeon RX. I almost said RTX because the names are throwing me off now. With, well, not the names, but more the numbers. The RX 9070 XT, and it was a beast of a build. Currently, my friend out there up in New York is certainly enjoying it. He's been stuck playing Battlefield 2042. And you know what's crazy, I gotta say? Has anybody went back to Battlefield 2042? Because the funny thing is, they forced you to enable TPM 2.0 now back for Battlefield 2042 to play that game. Which is pretty insane, right? So, Mafia: The Old Country is the new Order 1886. Oh man. 7700X, whereas 7600X is no slouch either. Yes, though do not underrate the 7000 series. They certainly exist, and they are still great processors to use, especially if you could get them for even a better deal. But usually if it's only like $20 or $30 apart, or $30 USD apart, then more than likely you're probably going to want to go with the newer one just to be more up to date. It has little tweaks here and there, but then it would be ultimately up to you if you can go for that dive. So yes, Mafia is more cinematic. I don't mind it. I liked it so far, but yeah. I bet they weren't. I bet they were looking for a lot, especially if you're comparing it with the earlier games like the original Mafia and Mafia 2. It's, I'm sure, quite different, I have to say, because it's going to be more cinematic compared to what they're used to. But the pricing, I know, was really good on it. Excuse me. I know the game was only like 30 or 40 bucks, I think it was, right? So I wish that Order 1886 comes back as a remaster. It was so cool, even though it wasn't the best. Absolutely, it was nice. So Rat YTT says, is the Ryzen 7 5800H and the RTX 3060 laptop GPU any good? Yeah, it's still an excellent PC to get. You can certainly play a ton of games on it still. Again, like with these newer titles, it's for some reason it's gotten a lot more tough with these titles. And I do have to say, like, if you are thinking of a purchase, like, how much is it, if you don't mind me asking? Is it going to be worth the price that you're going to pay for it? Are you expecting to play modern titles with this setup? More than likely you can, but don't expect to go full, like maybe some games like 2K games, like 1440p type of games. You might have a little bit of issues with some modern ones, but I would say more than likely you'll be good for the most part, especially if you go like for 1080p. So which GPU do you think would be good? Now, if you want, so what type of games do you like to play is the question. What type of games do you prefer to play? So the B850 mortar capable enough for a 9950 X3D, because I heard the X870 is required for a stable run. And if you go a 9950 X3D, I would highly suggest, yes, please go full X870. You won't regret it. It's your motherboard. I'd say go for the X870. But you can run it if you really wanted to. It will run stable, same on a B850, but you will get more use out of it. X870, I have to say. And 240 AIO good enough? No, I would go 360 because the newer processors definitely run hotter. I would say before you can, like the more lower powered ones, you certainly could get away with 240. But I'd say with the newer ones, again, more processors are running a bit more hot. You can certainly run 360. Now, if you were going Intel like the 285 or 265, I would say you probably could get away with a 240 on that, because it's not even. That's like 240 watts. You still have to go 360. You would have to go a little ways back actually to run a 240 on a CPU, or just like a very low cord CPU, like a 9600. You can get away with it without the X. No overclock and nothing. So, say no to Razer. Better than yes, better than a $5,000 laptop. If a 9950X build, you better be putting in all the best stuff. Absolutely. That's exactly what I mean. You will miss out on so much more of your capabilities with the 9950X3D. You want to enable all your capabilities with it. Future-proof your GTA 6. Future-proof your PC. So everybody out there, I gotta say, for GTA 6, do you think that they're gonna optimize it so well to where you don't need frame generation? I think most people will think this too, that they're not going to really rely on frame generation. If they do, it'd be pretty much a disappointment if that was the case, right? 420 plays it. Yes, if you can fit 420, that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful on a case. And I have to ask everybody out there, we were speaking on this subject on behalf of yesterday, which was, how would you like to do a PC build with a BTF build, a stealth build, or a Project Zero build, to where you don't have to use any connectors onto the front of your motherboard. Everything's on the back of the motherboard instead. The only catch is, if you are doing that, you just want to make sure you get a case where it is also BTF friendly for the most part. So, 1200 watt PSU, 64 gigabytes of RAM, 2 SSDs. 5090 AIO cooler would match a 9950X. Well, absolutely. That is very fitting for a build like that. That would be amazing if you did a build like that. Case is Liandan A3. Should I go for ITX X870 motherboard then? Oh, okay. Not X870. So if you're going with the Liandan A3, yes, that would be the better option. No X870. No. Let me see. I got to see this case real quick. So let's go over here. Liandan A3. Yeah, so this is the case right here. Something like this. Man, this, you know what actually will go really well with your case here is the new Gigabyte boards, especially the new ice boards. They're very nice. Yeah, I got to share the pictures with you guys. In fact, with this with the new Gigabyte boards, because they're quite great. Yes, Liandan. Did he put Lian? I know what he meant. Lian Lee. Liam Lee. And this is the case, right? The A3. I know. I know what he meant, but he meant the Lee and Lee for sure. So if they really had a Lee and Dan brand, so that would be a pretty funny, right? It's a nice case though, I gotta say for the most part. And you can certainly fit. It says it's designed for MATX and ITX. So to be honest, are you really sticking with the chassis that with me? I apologize for that. I gotta say, it's very tempting to me too, Wasabi. I already have 1 GB board here, so I definitely want to add to the collection to myself. But 56UXT56B. Danny, what are you doing at the Lee and Lee factory? So, do you really want to stick with this case? I would highly suggest. So you can go with the MATX or the ITX. I'm just saying that you can certainly. Okay, so you already have the case. Okay, so with a case like this, let's take a look at your options here. We're gonna go into the menu here, and we're gonna go check out the motherboards. See what type of motherboard capabilities you have, but more than likely it's going to be better to go. They're kind of tight, your options here. Again, you can only fit MATX and ITX, which are pretty much the same for the most part. This is it. So B850s, we don't want that. And we want to go ahead. You want to make sure you have the max capability set for this. You want to have, obviously, AMD Expo. Why do they have... maybe the X870i, this is a decent one. This would go great for you. If it's a white build, maybe this is your better choice here. Again, it's like they change out some of the capabilities on this. Like, for example, I see the Wi-Fi is a bit different. You only have 2.5 gigabits. It's a shame because with that processor and everything, you can certainly run on the with the 10 gigabits of LAN, and there's a lot of other features that you can take advantage of on a bigger board. We have the same Gigabyte motherboard. Mine's is the X870 for AMD, and yours is for the Intel Z890. Yes, pretty much. Yeah, we both had the same one. It's actually sitting right there. I really want to do a build with it. And no, Gemi, does he? I thought he only had the X870E. Yes, I do have it. It's actually back here. It's the one, yeah, in the back. Yep, that's it. You guys could probably see it. Wolfie's probably covering it. Right there, guys. That's it right there in the back hiding. Hey, man. I didn't have a choice. That's why it's still sitting there and not inside of a PC, because I didn't want to really go ahead and go through with a 285 build. I'll wait for... I kind of want to test out the refresh, because, again, this board's so limited. And if I could, I would love to switch it out with the X870E if anybody out there wants to do a trade. So anyway, so for your PC, I would say this Gigabyte X870i, if yours is a white Lee and Lee PC, just case just like that one, I would say go ahead and go with the ICE AMD AM5 motherboard, or man, this is okay. Let's go up here. I'm gonna select a couple more options. That way we can have a better look. Where is it? Form factor. We got form factor out, and we just want to look for the chipset. Why don't they have the chipset? SATA RAID, back IO ports. Oh, right here. X870. Very limited options. So the Gigabyte X870i, or you could go the X870i. It seems people are definitely more happier. Take a look at that rating. You got 501 people who ended up getting this and much more happier with this. So I would say go with the AORUS Pro, if anything. The AORUS or the ROG Strix X870i. I wonder what the problems were with this one. Cool little board. Someone likes it. Flashback was nice. It's a motherboard. The M2 stack and FPS card may be a problem with air coolers. Okay, so that's what it is. Expo is not stable. Should have went Gigabyte. Great little product. I have 7 ASUS products. Lots lost days because of bad documentation. Brand new install. What was it? Oranges. This is what a stressful waste of time. Yellow light of death. Scammed my Newegg. Product was scammed. Well, that really has nothing to do with the product. So for the most part, I would say just go ahead and go with the Gigabyte side. Definitely go with the Gigabyte side. So how much is the Gigabyte Stealth Ice in the US? Well, let's actually go into the Gigabyte site real quick, because I do want to introduce you guys over to the new boards here, the new X3D boards, X3D motherboards. The Stealth Ice, I think here, like, let me just look for a standard Stealth Ice real quick first, just to share with you. So they're usually a bit more than the standard, of course. And the new ones are not quite on sale yet, but the current one that they do have, this X870E, oh, that's actually a great deal. Well, I know why it's a great deal, because Gigabyte's coming out with new motherboards. It's only $319. That's actually really good. The AORUS Pro Ice AM5, LGA 1718, DDR5, PCI Express 5. This is actually an excellent deal for it. $319.99. This more than likely also has dual LAN as well, because the new, I know, X870E boards usually have to have 10 gigabits. Or no, not 10 gigabits. 5 gigabits on it too. This actually only has 2.5. But I bet the new ones have it. But here's the new ones here. Original price is 365 euros. Oh, really? Here's the new motherboards here that just were announced yesterday, which are the AORUS Elite X3Ds. Now, these boards are sick, I gotta say. Performance unleashed by AI, which is going to sell. I like that. Quote unquote sales. And this one's sick. I like this one. X870E AORUS Elite X3D. And take a look here. Let me move it right there for you guys to see in the mobile side. So as 16 plus 2 VRM design, full PCI Express on lens slots, total 8 PWM DC headers for them. Okay, I know these are 8-layer PCBs too, so it's like real super thick. So you can imagine the quality on it. That's why I have it. So absolutely. Unleash new era gaming performance with one-click activation. Advanced AI. Because I remember you said your BIOS also updated, right, Takuma? Yes, the X870i is the final choice, I would say. Go with that one. That would be your best option. You'll certainly be 100% happy with that. If anything, also check it down in the description box down below if you're looking for any of the links, because they are, just to let you know, they are also affiliate links down there you can click on to take a look at the different products that I've used. And you can just easily just browse over. Look up the Stealth Ice X870i, and I'll be right there. So this is what's the big deal on it. this whole turbo mode here. So if you get into the X3D turbo mode, it delivers enhanced gaming and multitask performance over the first generation built-in AI model. So what it does is instead it circuitly dynamically optimizes the X3D processor, and here's what I was speaking of earlier, up to 25% improvement when you are using it. So even the marketing hype on that as well, even named X3D. Isn't it crazy? It's like because people know the X3D line, they know people will go for it. I wonder how Intel feels about this. I wonder if they're a little bit, they feel that Gigabyte ended up being a little one-sided on them. Or do they have something else up their sleeves? So even the infinite memory performance. The X3D series gaming motherboard boosts up to 9,000 megatransfers, up to on overclocking. Who's willing to take that challenge? Up to 9,000. That's quite insane, right? Yes, my UI changed on the AORUS X870E. How do you like it? How do you like the new UI compared to the original? So it has, this is the 8 layers I was speaking of earlier, has 2 times the copper enhancement, PCB back drilling technology, server grade PCB practically, 56% lower dissipation factor. These are the V cores we were mentioning earlier, and the exclusive patent designed cools up the SSDs up to 12 degrees lower compared to your average heatsink. M.2 thermal guard. And here it is. Thermal plate gives it has a thermal plate on there, which can even give it up to 14% performance. When they are out in the market, should I get one? Yeah, exactly. It's pretty insane because I feel like that too. Like it really does make me, I really want to get my hands on this. You know, this is what I really love about Gigabyte's design. They really make it really simple to take out and remove a SSD cover, just like this. Instead of unscrewing it, trying to make sure everything's lined up perfectly, Gigabyte really makes it easy with the easy latches here. And then you have and I gotta say, like when it comes to PC building, it's like keeps improving better than ever. Here's your button for those who don't like to use the buttonless features on some motherboards, I can say. Hassle-free assembly. What's up, crazy KNS? Yes, the secret agent here. Does the X3D Turbo mode actually work, or is it a marketing gimmick? No, it certainly works. The reason why they just call it X3D, but the whole X3D is that you get extra cache out of your processor. So instead of just it doubles your cache from your L3 cache when it comes to your processor. That's what it really does. And essentially makes your game enhancements a lot quicker because you don't have to wait for it to really go to the RAM. So it does help in that sense. I like Gigabyte's cyberpunkish design of motherboards. I do. I love their looks of it. I love their colors. And it's not like it's almost like it gives you like a retro-ish futuristic feel, just like what you're saying about the cyberpunk feel. The front QC USB 65 watts, dual native 40 gigabits USB 4, and it has 5 gigabit LAN and Wi-Fi 7. Extra cache for some extra cache. I need to record a video for my project. Need some suggestions with camera angles. Oh, really? What kind of video are you trying to film? I know it's a little bit out of the realm for most people here when it comes to this channel, but feel free to ask. I can certainly help you with that. What type of video are you trying to do? Is it more like of a documentary, or is it more like a type of? Let me know. It also has PCI Express UD slots, unparalleled robustness, delivering superior protection for your GPU. These are great, and I know they actually already have them on a lot of the newer Gigabyte boards too. I know Wasabi can certainly tell you. They are very solid to where it helps you, so it doesn't help give you any play when it comes to your graphics card. It's just like kind of like a real solid block that they have, which is very nice. Their UD power connectors. Ricky's doing great. It's funny because it's funny that you guys asked about him. Recently, if you haven't seen my video earlier in the week, I specifically made a special video on how to set up a stream because he wants to also stream himself, Ricky. And so far he's doing great, but every time he tries to set up his OBS and everything, which is of course going to be overwhelming because he's new to it, every time he tries to, he's watching the video, and as soon as he gets a little bit into it, his girlfriend constantly comes over and ends up pulling him away from the PC, so he doesn't really get a chance to enjoy it as much as he wants to. Every time he wants to enjoy it, he's getting peeled away from his PC. And it's funny because his cousins always tell him, like, you need to find a girl that's also into gaming as well. So basically, speaking about an app, I built like maybe a tablet in my hand and recording running on the side or something. Oh, so, have you? That's pretty dope. So maybe a tablet in my hand and recording running on the side. That's quite an interesting concept. Arctic MX6 versus Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut. I've always been an Arctic guy, so I would go MX. Well, Grizzly's been great too, to be honest. That's a tough one. Yeah. No more thermal paste. Really? Use the cryo sheet? How is that? I gotta say, I haven't tried that. I was actually thinking of Arctic Silver. My fault. If it was between Arctic MX6 and Thermal Grizzly, I would say Thermal Grizzly. Arctic Silver is usually my first choice. I usually use because I've been using them for so long, and they've been excellent when it comes to thermals. I have to say on all my PC builds for sure. There's an issue when she makes you her hobby. I like that, Dave. I do like that. There is an issue, right? So this is what I really like about the new X3D boards here, is the fact that on Gigabyte, that they have these new BIOS 2.0s. And you're like, what's so different about BIOS 2.0? The fact that what is really nice about this, they practically turned the BIOS into pretty much like a driver at that point. You can easily update it just like almost like a driver, which is amazing. I'm really curious to see the workings of it. And on top of it, it has allegedly this whole AI in there to where it's able to kind of pinpoint your performance to see where it's at. And we all know that the term AI has been well overused when it comes into, especially when it comes to the market side of things. Really, it's just like automatic settings to see what you have on your PC, and then it kind of centralizes it to the point where it gives you the best settings when it comes to your PC build. And then on top of it, if there's any tweaks, that this BIOS will be able to do that for you. So Mr. Ultima says, best experience ever with the OLED ASUS 31.5-inch display, the expensive one. So you must have is it the PG32 WCDM, the 4K monitor? It's a beautiful monitor, I gotta say. They have excellent monitors when it comes to their case. The Thermal Grizzly Cryo Sheet is very good. It's a good pad for CPUs. It's very effective, and I had no issues. The only thing is when you change the CPU, you may not reuse it. It's costly, but worth it. I see. So if you ever have to change out this, well, most of the case, when you really think about it, most people are going to change out their CPU. Maybe some will. If you're on a X670 board and you want to upgrade to from a 7000 series to a 10,000 series, but that's like what? Maybe that would be like nearly like 4 years, right? So really, when you think about it, how much is like a cryo sheet about? I'm assuming, let's just assume like about $20 USD. So even then, you consider it for how well it performed over the 4 year span. And that's like what, like $5 a year that it's protected you. And then you just get another sheet to throw on there. That's definitely worth it. If it's given great thermals, might as well. Because just like thermal paste anyway, you're not going to obviously use the same thermal paste off of the 7000 series processor. You're definitely going to have to add thermal paste to the new processor as well. So the ROG Swift paired with my build. Scroll up to see it. Okay, I just finished my build, the RTX 5090 MSI LC Supreme, as the 9950 X3D ASUS A850 BTF Mobo. Oh, Mr. Ultima, you got to show that build, man. I really want to see how that looks. With a Corsair Titan 360 AIO and a Corsair 9000D Super Tower White. That's beautiful. Because that's one of the things that we spoke about, is that we want to do something like a BTF type of build. BTF build or stealth build, depending on the manufacturer that you choose. I'm just curious, how was your experience with it? How did you like doing the BTF build? Because I gotta say, the BTF build is very interesting, especially how clean you can really make your PC look because of it. So let's go back here. But yeah, that's just the X3D. They have another one here. Let me go back to their motherboard side. Because they came out with 4. So this is the AORUS Pro X3D, the AORUS Elite X3D Ice, and the Extreme. Nope, that's Z890. Z890 doesn't count, right? So let's take a look. I think this is the one we just took a look at too, right? Yes. Because I know they have another. I don't think they officially announced that other one yet. Absolutely the best time with cable management ever. It is worth the effort. For sure. I'm glad you picked out the right case. I know that's probably one of the things when it comes to building a PC. That's probably one of the most difficult tasks, is the whole cable management. So if anybody out there is thinking of building a PC, that's probably the most toughest part, is dealing with the cable management. And if BTF or Stealth Build or Project Zero can certainly make that a lot easier, then this is definitely worth the case. Same thing like when Corsair came out with the PSUs. Instead of having the PSUs directly on the back, they had it on the side. So, but in a case like when it comes to like a stealth, like not really stealth, but more like of a BTF build, then you know everything will be easy to connect. You don't have to worry about stretching cables. You don't have to worry about any cables showing. But I wonder how other companies feel, such as like Cable Mod, or how not only Cable Mod, but Cable Mod, Mod DIY, like any of those companies feel about BTF. I'm surprised that it hasn't taken over a bit more, but it's one of those things where it probably will take a bit of time to adjust, because there's so many cases out there already. And I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some interference when it comes to certain fans and everything. So it's practically going to be like in redesign mode when it comes to it. So, Chris Mizo, I was thinking about buying a new camera, the Sony A7C. I'm not a fan of the A7 M Mark III. I don't like the fact that you have to flip the display upside down. Oh yeah. That's what I currently do with my No, not really flip it upside down, but I get the idea. The Sony A7C is certainly a great camera to go, I have to say. You practically have a full mirrorless camera, and you have more flexibility with it. It's light, easy to move. I would say go with it. I would say go with the A7C. It would certainly appeal to anybody out there that is looking for a camera. Definitely a great one to go. Currently, the one that I do use is the A7 III. I mean the A7S3. Great camera too. But if anything, I've always thought about changing it up to getting a different setup even, because this camera's performed great over the years, I have to say too. Well, is there any announced on the X870E Extreme X3D? It's funny, that's what I was looking for, but they didn't officially announce it yet. Like Wasabi showed it, but this weekend products, yeah. So hopefully they do have it. I would love for them to definitely show the extreme version of the board. So let's go. All right. So I think it was eventually taken to the market because it does make it easier. But the cables in the front of the motherboard to show it off is a display piece itself. When people customize it to accommodate the cables as part. Yeah. So I agree, Mr. Ultima. I think that's the case. I think a lot of people like to show off the cables as well, like as part of the display. And I don't think, because of the popularity of the current board sets that are out now, I don't think currently the cable companies or the companies that deal with the aesthetics parts of it, I don't think they feel worried about it at all. They're probably pretty confident that they're always going to be around because of it. Because you know what the funny thing about human nature is? Like say if BTF did really take over everything. Everything is BTF. Then for some reason as humans, we like to revert back to going retro again. And retro would be technically showing the cables again. So we'll see how well it goes. And I do really like the clean looks of it. It just, especially, can you imagine doing like a BTF build? If you were doing like, say, like a stealth build and you don't have anything there, it would look pretty insane, right? And it would just be quiet. Maybe that's something, that's an option. Doing a stealth build that's like BTF or something. So you can find the motherboard that I posted on Discord and Video Cards website. Yeah, sure. Actually, I will share it. That must be a 600. I think so too. It's going to be expensive. So can we all agree that AceRock Polychrome Sync is the worst software? Yeah, I 100% agree with you, Titan. I think it is trash. I think the AceRock software is 100% trash. Nobody talks about it. It's no good. Like retro cables that are RGB and Disco. I don't use any software for RGB. You just let it ride, right? At this point, it already has color, so why doesn't matter, right? Some people are very color coordinated. They want the exact color. FFFA0F21 or something. So let's go ahead and we will go into Discord real quick. 2030 new Art Deco style. Here we go. That sounds good. It sounds like the perfect marketing product right there. So we will go into Discord. I will share what Wasabi shared with us over just yesterday, which was based on, oh, here we go. You see my Discord screen just loading up? So we will close out of Discord and go back in it. Where is it? Discord. And go back in. Because he had showed the extreme version, which is really amazing. Looks dope. It's so extreme. Wait till you see why I say it's so extreme to the point. Here we go. Thanks to Wasabi here. And for anyone that wants to join the Discord, it is also down in the description box down below. And this is it. This is what he showed here. Take a look at that. That's pretty insane looking, right? Right there. Update. Gigabyte has also announced the X870E Extreme X3D and the ROG X3D. And take a look at that heatsink right there. Isn't that insane? That is like what? Like that's like 4? No, that's got to be like 5 layers of heatsink. Yes, it has to be for an X870E. There's also a new Gigabyte Arrow. Yes. I think the Arrow is... Wait, where is it? This is both the Extreme. And let's go ahead. And we were just talking about just extra money. Getting more motherboards, right? And again, feel free to join the Discord. This is how it's like. And it's down in the description box down below. So we're going to go back into just chatting here, and we will go and look for the stealth board. I think I actually posted it here on Twitter, in fact. And I'll go into my page here. Where is it? Almost had a, what's it called? Streamception right there. I have to share this with you guys too. This with you guys. Let's go right here. We will go to the stream browser. And let me switch over. Oh, okay. I see what happened there. Right there. And for you guys, I will switch over right there. Perfect. Now, they also came out with this, which is pretty insane. Which is the AORUS RTX AI box. The flagship eGPU designed for enthusiastic AI workloads. What do you think, guys? You think that's pretty impressive? All ready to go. Has 16 gigabytes of VRAM, Thunderbolt 5, USB 4, and a compact design. So the cover of the RAM has fan cooling them. So basically RAM cooling, pretty much. And it gives about 14,669 with Thunderbolt 5 with their AI box compared to their 5060 Ti 16 gigabytes. But I wonder what the pricing is for it. I know. Again, we spoke about this. We spoke about how they overmarket the word AI for certain. I wouldn't be surprised though. I really hope they don't do this. I really hope AMD does not do this. When they come out with their new GPUs, that they call it AMD Radeon AI. Maybe they'll start over. AMD Radeon AI 1000 or something crazy like that, because that's just going to seem ridiculous. I can't afford a robot, bro. AI machine with a 5060 Ti e-waste, pretty much. Oh, let me go forward here, and I think this was it. The X870 AORUS Master. This is the Ice Edition. Ice Edition. The Elite. I thought I had it. But this is a good demonstration of it right here. Yes, pretty much. It's crazy too, because it's just like they really, even it's in TVs, in dishwashers. They got AI in dishwashers, so they can have a more precise fine cleaning when it comes to your plates. Oh, in fact, if you put your keyboard in there, they'll kind of like laser precision cleaning. They'll hit between all the grooves. Elite Ice looks chromed. It does look a bit chromed out, right? Direct touch heat pipe, 8-layered PCB, a one-piece PCB thermal paste. Easy do-it-yourself. DDR5 overclocking. Seems like the product of investors, and pretty much, for the most part. I thought I had it, guys. We can certainly look for it. I'm pretty sure it's out there somewhere. The Arrow Edition. Gigabyte Arrow X3D. Let's see if we can find it. Looks like PC Games N had posted it. Oh, this looks pretty dope. Here goes a look of it. Let's go. Let's go, stream browser. Looks something like this. That's something different, actually. The little wood grain on the side. That's really interesting. It seems like that they're actually bringing that back. There's actually a guy that I know on TikTok. He's pretty cool. JB Customs. He does like a lot of builds where he does wood cases. You got to check him out too. And this would definitely go well on like one of his builds for sure. Dishwasher Optimus Prime that laughed my ass off. I lost it when I saw the AI keyboard switch from Ducky. Like, what the hell? Yeah, like, what's that going to do? You turn the AI switch on, and what's it going to do? Like, just know exactly how you're moving now? Like, when you're playing, like, something like Battlefield 6, you don't have to hit WSAD. You just move your mouse, and that's it. So, yeah, that's quite nice. Imagine your toilet has AI. Oh, I know you know this, Takuma. Especially everybody that's from Asian countries especially know this. Can you imagine our toilets if they had AI? Can you imagine, especially like with the precision when it comes with the Toto toilets? I hate products that beep. Yeah, maybe. Hey, if you have AI, it won't beep anymore. But the finish is really nice. It's kind of classy looking. But personally, to me, I haven't been like. I don't know how you guys feel about it too. I'm not a big fan of like the silver color. Never been a big fan of silver. I feel like it just looks so plain. Maybe it's just so. Like, for example, like a car, right? I can't stand like silver cars. Like, you could have a nice car, but in silver it just takes away the flavor, don't you think? But this isn't so bad, I gotta say. Maybe. I would have to see it in person to see how it looks. Even worse when AI tells you about the stools. Oh man, that's a good one. Oh man, can you imagine that? It'll tell you the. Can you imagine? Oh man, that's funny. Can you imagine if AI did tell you that, and it would tell you like the diameter and the approximate weight of your stools in the toilet? Silver just looks like a dead short waiting to happen. Yeah, it's just something just throws you off when it comes to silver, I gotta say. But I gotta say, I like the concept so far, but maybe, hopefully it looks just as good as the renders. Hopefully better. But yeah, I gotta say for the most part, that would be very interesting. But they practically do put an AI in everything now. I know there was even, I remember there was even AI spoken about, like getting put into monitors. Like, they're kind of overdoing it when it comes to it. And the funny thing is, I always thought this whole AI side of things was going to eventually pretty much come to an end, like how it did when it came to like the whole 3D side. Like, besides, I'm not talking about the processors like X3D, but I'm talking about like the 3D images or 3D videos. Like when we kept coming out with 3D movies ever since Avatar. Seemed like they're having this heavy push for 3D for several years, and then it just stopped. So I wonder if AI will be the same way. Like if they're gonna be on a constant push because the way they market it so much to the point where they kind of get people tired of it, or doesn't want any real part of it, because they're getting to that point almost. So thoughts on the AI BIOS? It's pretty much, I feel like, to be honest, it's going to be pretty much the same way. We do already have auto optimization when it comes to BIOSes. Like if you go into the BIOS, you can go in there and actually set it to auto, and it will detect what settings you have. Now, I can say when it comes to the AI side, I can't really speak on it just yet because I haven't got to really mess with the AI BIOSes. But I would imagine they're not going to be too far off from each other, unless there's some sort of extra calculation in there that I don't know about. Maybe to ask questions. I haven't really dealt with the whole AI BIOS yet. But for the most part, I think it's going to be practically the same as auto optimization. Just a bit more of a fancier term for it. So, Dave asks, oh yeah, they're so advanced. But can you imagine your dump says business and then the toilet says, it showed off me. You know? Yeah, that would be funny too. Whoever came up with the wood finish parts on motherboards deserves that asylum. Yeah, it's funny. It's and they had a big push on it, because if you look at like some of the cases out there, I've seen it on Fractional Design. They've been doing it. Lee and Lee, it seems like, I think the last case we had has a bit of wood grain on it. Personally, to me, I agree. I don't personally like to have like a wood look. When it comes to a PC build, it will look really odd, especially if you have like, say, like a black desk like this. It almost looks like almost doesn't look like a PC at that point. It would almost look like you have some sort of like retro what is it, like the air purifiers, almost like a retro air purifier on your desk or something. So I'm dead at the wood sells. Yes, apparently it does. Apparently wood does sell. They've been really pushing it out for quite a bit when it comes to these wood grain finishes. Pretty soon, I'm sure you guys seen it, right? They have wood grain keyboards that I can. You guys might not be really interested in it, but they do. Right here. It's called the Dust 67. Inside the PC, yeah, inside the board, LTT, Noctua PC. I'll take a look at that. LTT. So is that? I'm assuming, is it Linus Tech Tips Noctua PC? Is it, or is it just like its own thing? I haven't seen it. You need an IKEA PC with IKEA. Ugh, IKEA. The funny thing is, so everything's supposed to be made in Sweden when it comes to IKEA, but when you go in there, you're like, nothing is really from Sweden for the most part, I gotta say. So let's go here to the Steam browser, and this is exactly what I was talking about here. You get the Dusk 67 keyboard, right? Looks heavy as hell though, right? Take a look at that. Look at that. That looks quite heavy. You know it's not going to move. That's quite interesting. The port, that has to be USB-C. That's the bottom of it. And then it even has a wood cover. So the wood keyboard wasn't enough. You can put it inside of a cover. Okay, and here's the two sizes. I know, right? And I guess they thought this was pretty cool. The stenciled like little wave here, like this little retro wave they got going on there. And here's like a close look. If you are a if you are a how do I say, you're really into, I guess, wood, you look for the wood stain, I guess, a really nice wood stain, a look to it. There it is, like a render of it, just like sitting through a window, how it would look. Yeah, pretty much. I wonder if the keycaps they got to be pretty much like wood, right? No, watch the keycaps be plastic. I bet they're clay. I'm not fancy like that. I know, it looks kind of crazy, right? It'd be funny though, like if you're just like typing and say like the key is really, say, made of wood, or like you're just touching your keyboard. Can you imagine like you get a splinter or something like from the keyboard itself? Yeah, it's too much. It's too much wood. I need a fine glass of whiskey next to a cigar. Whoever. Oh man, it's hilarious, right? So they pretty much have wood products on everything. And can you imagine like the wood monitors? It's almost like those throwback TVs, like where they had it like engraved inside of remember like the old TVs, like the really old retro TVs, where they had the wood around the TV. It would come with the TV. So can you imagine having a display like that? Like having it like fully, like say a fully wood display, wood keyboard, wood display, and wood type of casing, everything all wood. A robot, yes, and a robot about you need a maid, Dave. That's a good. A fine glass of whiskey. Sooner or later, someone will make a $3,000 keyboard from ebony timber, and they will start some insane trend with with AI. After watching this keyboard, I need to wash my. Hey, I mean, hey, do you want to know what the pricing is? I didn't even get to the best part. What's the pricing on this? So you can get this wonderful keyboard. It's actually not badly priced at a wonderful, right there, $114 USD for this wonderful keyboard. And on top of it, on a bonus, you can get the added walnut wrist rest for $15 extra. So so can you imagine that you just take this with you? Imagine you saw somebody whip this out in front of you, like at the airport or something. This you would wonder, like, that's got to be, to be honest, okay. Like if you were taking this over to like the airport or something, right? And it's inside of a wood case. I don't even think would they allow you to really bring it to the airport, because at that point it's practically like a weapon, right? Like it's like a big piece of wood. What kind of wood is it? Oh, that's a great question. That is a great question. Let's find out. Oh, it's in the specifications. All right, so take a look here. What's up, Alex? Long time no see. It's been a minute. Imagine having to put wood conditioner on your keyboard so it doesn't crack. There's probably a bonus finish that they put on there to make sure that it doesn't like take any type of heat, like any heat damage. So the specs include case wooden material, not very descriptive. It just says wooden material with a plate of aluminum carbon fiber. Walnut. You guys see walnut? Let me see. Oh yeah, there it is. Now I see it, walnut. It's probably rosewood. They said it's right there, which is funny. It's walnut. Disclaimer. Is there a disclaimer? Okay, so the case and the wrist are made of organic wood, so it's 100% wood. It is a normal phenomenon if there is a little gouge, a little stripe or slight color difference. If you guys see that right there. Oh, and get this. They should wooden material. Wooden material. So the plate, most importantly, the plate is carbon fiber FR4 polycarbonate non-flex cut plate. Has a rubber gasket. Type and angle is at 7 degrees. Hey, I have this aesthetic plan with my PC right now. I want to get the M-ATX case with the glass front and side. That's not a good selling point. Like, especially if you're a wood enthusiast, I don't think they want to hear wooden material. I'm pretty sure they know it's wood from looking at it. So you have an aesthetic plan with a PC right now. I want to get an M-ATX case with a glass front and glass side. So I would say, like, anytime you want to get that type of look with an M-ATX case, I would say Lee & Lee is one of the best options to go, because they're like one of Especially the O11 Dynamic Evo is a great case. Like when it comes to Lee & Lee, for the most part. If you go with them, you would certainly not be disappointed. Let me adjust that. For some reason, it seems like the camera keeps liking the capture the chat. Let me move it over just a bit there so it doesn't get too crazy. So, any recommendations for a 360 AIO millimeter AIO 320 millimeter Nitro Radeon 9070 XT? No, it's a great combination that you have there. Are you asking for what type of processor maybe? The Stripe is the grandpad. I'm in my second year of cybersecurity. Awesome. Congratulations, Alex. I'm glad you're doing well so far. Have you seen the Be Quiet detachable keyboard? No, I have not. How can I claim my warranty if the keyboard PCB is... Oh yeah, you know what's a great... This is... Oh, you know what? You might have some sort of bug right there. Let me see. This is what you gotta worry about here. You gotta worry about termites. So you have to... So if you do plan... Oh, here we go. Actually, I scrolled down, right? And they have a bit more about this keyboard. All right, now I got to share this with you. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Make the question in your notepad. Let me share this with you guys real quick. Okay, so here it is. I guess they have a whole building tutorial of how they do it. And here's the engraving texture on the bottom here. And it says the design of the keyboard seamlessly blends with the elegant wood grain texture of walnut with the lustrous sheen of brass inlays, creating a visually and striking, aesthetically captivating result. The combination of warm organic warmth and the natural wood material and a cool, refined brilliance of metallic accents produces a unique aesthetic that both refine and striking. So the end product comes with a stunning wood of function. So there you go, about walnut. They got a whole thing about walnut there for you guys. So, yeah, it's no joke when it comes to cybersecurity. I got the wood parts would be great for a PC build match with all that teak. Imagine if they, disclaimer, they wrote, no tree was harmed. Yeah, that would be pretty funny. That would be hilarious. Oh, here we go. You're going to get a kick out of this. The copper accents would be nicer. It says, the hardness and the resilience of the walnut wood enable the keyboard to withstand regular use. So it's certainly all walnut. And the robustness contribute to the product's long lifespan and reliability. Black walnut is highly resistant of decay and corrosion, allowing the keyboard to maintain pristine condition over time. So you guys don't have to worry about it getting wet or spilling coffee or anything onto your keyboard. That wood grain is going to hold because they got the best wood out there, the best walnut. So the robust durability of walnut wood, coupled with its rare price stats, makes its keyboard design exceptionally quality, and inherent and preciousness enhances the perceived worth and desirability of the unique, aesthetically crafted product. What a I like that. What a waste of all. It would be a much better use for a table, right? Look up quiet dark mount, no corroded wood. Wood turned into e-waste, pretty much. So the raw wood surface is lacquered to protect wood while highlighting its natural beauty and grain. So, and furthering elevating the keyboard's premium quality and aesthetic appeal. I bet. You know what's funny too, guys? It's just imagine you go to somebody's house, right? They do a PC build, and they're excited to show you. You have no idea what it looks like, and you're going into the house, and they're like, yeah, you smell that? You smell that? You're like, yeah, why does it smell? It smells like like furniture, like fresh wood. He walks you over to the room. He has a full PC build, all wood, wooden keyboard and everything. You smell that? That's walnut. That's the walnut wood right there, man. So I would be interested if they gave more wood options. Oh man, that's too hilarious. Okay, so I will look that up. The quiet dark mount. So let's look that up. Yes, the lumber smell. Quiet mount, dark mount. It's not about the price. It's like, imagine my friends coming over and we'll start going. Yeah, that's true. Grandpa, old geezer, timer, boomer. Yeah, you'd be going with all kinds of names. Finally. Now we're back into reality. The PC to match the cigar humidor. Alright, so let's go back here. Dark mount keys to excellence. The dark mount keyboard, absolutely nothing to be desired. Finally, a nice break. This is dope. I do like concepts where they break apart to make it more of a TKL keyboard. That is pretty sick. I did see this like a little bit earlier in the year when they first released it. I think they released it back, I think springtime. I think it was around the springtime. I do remember this. I think it's $100 USD for this keyboard. I remember looking into this before. I would like it if it was made out of flame maple wood. Google. It's beautiful. I'm sure it is. This keyboard is forced to be reckoned with. Experience light and fast actuation with pinpoint accuracy. But whisper quiet keystrokes. Personalize your key experience with customizable ARGBs. And the keys, they're silent tactile, which is dope. So for those who don't like a lot of noise when it comes to a keyboard, this is really nice for that. And I'm curious about the type of switches that they use. So they use 5-pin MX style switches. So it sounds like that you're able to switch out to your own customizable switch if you choose to. Does the 10 key work separated? Normal person, I Now you know what's funny? Now when anybody mentions the keyboard, that unfortunately that wood grain keyboard, that dark walnut keyboard will appear in my mind. If anybody mentions a keyboard, and they're gonna be like, "What's so funny about a keyboard?" No, the other keyboards. So, have you seen the solid aluminum keyboard? Yes. Yeah, they're pretty nice too, actually. Factory lubricated mechanicals, silent switches, office. They're linear actuation. So linear actuation switches, they're usually either I know they're Cherry MX, not Cherry, but you know, red switches. Red switches and I believe the brown switches, they're both more of the linear type of switches, so they're a bit more quiet. So they're the better ones to go for that. Since they are those type of switches, this would certainly be great. Now to answer it, this one looks like, but the thing is, I know a lot of these switches, they'll end up having their own colors here. You know what we should look up next is a wood mouse. Let's see if they have a wood mouse. We have to have a walnut mouse, right? Don't need to phrase it like a dark, right? Dark hazelnut, dark hazelnut wood. So each keystroke is smooth and precise, yet whisper quiet are silent linear orange switches. So they use the orange switches, which are also quiet too. That switch, they should, you know where they need to have that? They have to advertise that on that beautiful wooden keyboard, right? Triple layer dampener. So to answer the question if it works separate, I believe more than likely it will not. I don't think it will. Unless they have a separate USB up on the top, we would have to get a bit more details on it. Let's see how it looks. Is it wireless? If it's wireless, yes, it can work separately. But let's go into the specs to find that out real quick. Let's see. Walnut keyboard, bro. Stop it, too much wood. I don't want termites to eat my PC setup. Oh, let me go back. Here we go. Custom features. Pre-RGB, highly durable, silent. Does not quite say. Damn it. I was looking for that walnut palm rest. So, if the wooden keyboards get wet, just stick a bunch of blocks with silicone. It will absorb all the water and just have a bunch of silicone packs on standby. So, let's see. Echo. I don't believe this. I don't think this is wireless from what it seems like. I can't stop at that. Product series. Yeah, I don't think it is. Yeah, because usually when things are wireless, they would advertise it. But even though, I don't think you're able to use it wirelessly. If that's the case, then unfortunately you can't use this without the keyboard. It has to be plugged in for it to read. Now time for a perfect way to complete a PC build. You need, yes, that would be dope. And more than likely, I could see that happen. So before we come to a close to this wonderful stream today, we have to share this beautiful, beautiful wooden mouse here. It's obviously why a mouse should be wooden. Holding naturally warm wood is just much more nicer than plastic. And together with the keyboard, it is an essential component of the computer world. Again, mouse never goes out of style. Can you imagine? Can you imagine gaming with this? Look at that mouse wheel right there. Oh, okay. Feel free to. Yes, I don't mind. Feel free to answer. The mouse is a USB device. Depending on the user's actions and functions, no special drivers are needed. So they're practically saying a mouse is a mouse. There's no extra PPI or more than 10 generations of electronics. Yeah. Tell me about it. Created alongside a progress of sensing probes operating process at the moment. Exemplar wireless mouse with wireless battery charging. Look at the horns on this thing. Woo! That's what you. So when your friends come over, you gotta be like, you see, this is why I bought, why I bought this mouse. It's because of these horns here. I bought it specifically because it has these sharp horns. And yes, the cable, it can. Imagine you come over to your friend's house and it says the wooden shack and you go, exactly, everything's wood. The wooden shack, the wooden man cave. Talk about the precision. Woo, look at those colors, man. Wooden parts for a PC is the new curse. You know what? They need a wooden cable. That's what they really need, is a wooden cable. Looking for a short ATX case that fits a 360mm AIO tightly on top of a large GPU. Highly prioritizing compact vertical footprint and a top-to-bottom airflow. Okay, very specific type of case, so we can definitely take a look at that. I found the Deep Cool 160H GPU too low when it sits Found the Montech King 95, but this case is 450 meters long with space. Space is about 4.5. Well, space is a good thing. GPU this case is extremely deep, supporting total cool air. Again, I reject this for aesthetic reasons. Makes sense. Look up the Dark Flash DWP90M. Is this ideal? Or let me see. Okay. We will take a look at this. Unfortunately, I apologize for you wood enthusiast. I have to pull away here. Can't wait to spend euros on my 270 1,000 euros. Okay, Dark Flash. Here we go. Quick release left glass panel design, curved glass, supports up to 360mm radiator, USB 3.0 ready. Okay, let's take a closer look at this. Okay, so it has the top to bottom, so it has the bottom to top airflow, just like what you're looking for. Design, fast, detach, curved design, air inlet. This is actually a very decent case. Reason why I say that, there's plenty of airflow. A lot of these lower cases, they tend to not have any, was it enough? I know, I'm traumatized now. I apologize for anyone that, curved glass, wow, and yikes. Yeah, it's, airflow-wise, this is great for a case. Because a lot of the cheaper cases, they don't have anything here on the bottom. That's really interesting. How it comes apart. It's funny because I originally thought, yeah, that's pretty dope. Amazon has prettier pictures. Oh, I'm sure. These are all just rendered pictures, obviously, but I can say for the most part, I think this is a very, this case is actually pretty impressive. I actually like this case. It has a lot of flexibility options here. There's a lot of options when it comes to the venting of airflow, which is the most important case. Again, a lot of cheaper cases don't have this bottom side where it comes to airflow. Most cases, they will only have maybe the side and the top, and that's it. But because it gives you room on the bottom, I'd say this case is certainly definitely a great one to choose. I do like the fact that it comes apart in two pieces and not one full side, because then that'd be a bit scary. Putting that on any hard surface, really. So, wooden PC parts is the new meme of the community. Yeah, pretty much. Now you can expect a lot of wood memes coming out for this. So yeah, I'd say if you want this case, definitely go for it. I would make a PC set with a keyboard and a wooden I currently have the 4000D airflow. That's a great case, in fact. But I'd say this case is certainly go. Specifications. Motherboard supports ATX, ITX, case size. Here's the diameters here. So it's definitely much more of a tighter tolerance compared to what you saw earlier. Can fit up to a 445mm GPU, which is nice. Gives you plenty of CPU clearance. Definitely you can put, but that doesn't really matter as much for you since you're going to put AIO in it. And PSU, I'm surprised they didn't put the PSU specs, but assuming you can put a standard PSU, ATX PSU in it, then more than likely that would certainly be the perfect case to go. I'd say go for it. Dark Flash, I certainly like it. I'm waiting for, maybe we get into that next time, for sure. Thank you, Takuma. Look at Tech Power Up, showed a very interesting ATX case on the start side. Sure. Oh, I can do that real quick. I appreciate it, Takuma, as always. Thank you so much. Tech Power Up. Is it right on the front page, is it? The case. Or, you know what? Can you send me the link That way we can find it real quick. Let me see. Tech Power Up. Is this it? The Pure 501 LX. Is this it? Oh, the mid tower. Is the Be Quiet one? Standard 140 x 140. I have 165 or 185. For your fan size, the standard is 140 by 140. What is it worth it to buy a new 120 to 200 case for just thermals and noise reduction? And it really depends on your usage, especially if you're planning to use it, say like for your production usage, and you need it to be a bit more quiet. You need something a bit more quiet, like say if you're doing it for something on streams, or you use it for audio, or if you're going for some sort of video and you need something that is much more quiet, then it would be worth it. But if you're just using it just like for gaming, not really, then I wouldn't say it's worth it as much. Thanks to Kuma for showing this. This is the Be Quiet Pure Base 501 LX mid tower chassis case here. So about this, it does have 4 included Lightwings LX fans, and sure, definitely check it. Okay, I gotcha. All right. So I'm going into Discord here, and let's find it out. Is this a normal startup? Oh. I'll answer you soon, Zay. I will answer you soon, Zay. God. This is a perfect chair for oh man. Just for anyone. Seriously, for anyone who's looking for their chair for a new gaming chair for their PC setup. This is it. It's very ergonomical, and you have the smell of fresh wood. Yeah, you'll feel like you're sitting right in the middle of the woods in a nice, beautiful walnut tree forest. So Takuma's going to send the link real quick, and please, X, join the Discord. I think you might be in it already. I think you did join the Discord. If you have, I can certainly help you. Reach out a bit more out there. Yes. So say if you get fatigued, and while you're playing some hardcore Battlefield 6, all you need is a nice cup of Joe, and you're like, need a breath of fresh air here, and just need a cigar, just smoking back, rocking back and forth on that beautiful wooden gaming chair. It's on technology. Okay. So, ASUS GT502 case. I like that case. That's a wonderful case. If you're thinking of a PC case, you could definitely go for that. That's a beautiful case, in fact. I can tell you for sure. I have the original GT501, and that's a great case. That's actually what I used for the Threadripper. It's on technology. Okay, so I'll look it up. Technology. And let's see. Man, I can't find it. Feel free to send it to Kuma if you can. Here it is. I found it. You did send it. For some reason, it didn't go off of it. But it's right here. We're going to switch over to the browser side. I think everyone has had a wonderful look at this beautiful gaming chair. If anybody is into wood, this is it. This is highly recommended by Wasabi. So let's go back to the browser here. Dark Flash introduces... Yep, I got it. Thanks a lot, Takuma. Dark Flash introduces the Flowtron F1 Micro ATX PC case. Dark Flash has announced the Flowtron F1 Micro ATX case designed with a floating extended base for better airflow. Ah, that is interesting. That is very interesting. So that would actually even stay even more cooler than a standard PC because of how much more of a gap you have. No, it's okay, Takuma. I do appreciate it. Oh, wow. Look at that. So that's actually really decent for anybody out there who's looking for a case that has like plenty of airflow. This is a great one, in fact. Talk about breathability. And take a look at that, like how to put it together. Kind of similar to the one we looked at earlier. Like how they had that corner glass design, but you're able to pull it apart. And let's get out of that. But overall, let's go on this side for you vertical guys if you're more curious about the key specifications here. I really like having the BF at 360. Oh, it is. Like, there's a ton of great cases, I gotta say, for the most part out there. Oh, they even have it showing. Like, they have a video of it. But real quick, let's go over the clearance of it. 350 millimeters. I can go up for GPU max clearance. I went with the 3500X Corsair because I could stick the dust screens on the outside of it. Yeah, it's kind of similar to the case I have in the background. The one I have in the background is the 5500X. But 3500X is a great case. It's funny, that was actually one of the cases I was originally thinking of doing the stealth PC build with Project Ninja. But yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Dave. Definitely a great choice to go. And I love just how easy it is to just how much space that Corsair does give you when it comes to their cases. So it does offer up to 140 millimeter support, which is very different from a lot of tight clearance cases such as this. So let's take a look at this video real quick. And we're taking a look at Dark Flash. Hopefully it doesn't look, you know what? Let me minimize it. It probably looks too big. And apologize for that, guys. Just trying to get a better view on the video. And I'll fix you guys over on the vertical side. Hopefully the audio is there. It should be. There you go. Apologize for that. Oh, no. Never mind. Let me shut that because it's going to sound too... I do like the look of it. I like the concept of it. It looks pretty decent. Very easy to put together. And definitely plenty of room to work with. And I did see that new DDR5 screen. They have small screens in it. I feel kind of mixed about it for the most part. Because I feel that... I think it's a great idea. It's pretty dope to have the small screens on the side. But on one of the DDR5 sticks, we're not going to be able to see that screen. So if I were them to save cost, I would do one side that has the screen and the other one just like a regular DDR5 stick. What do you think? Or do you think both screens could be beneficial? I'm just thinking of maybe on the other side of the RAM. I'm thinking, well, I guess. Looking at it, I'm thinking if you had temperatures or something, maybe. Water-cooled GPU help. Oh, I just have to add in there. The throw in there real quick, guys. Can you imagine if you had a wood-grained GPU, or wood-grained GPU, and then you went water-cooled? Wouldn't you be afraid of having some sort of pretty much some rot going on your GPU from the water cooling? Wouldn't you be afraid that you would cause some rot on the GPU? Because if you water cooled it, you had to constantly check for any wood that would kind of break apart too into the system. You would have to constantly clean out pretty much flush the system every time and add fresh water in it. So it seems we had a very productive talk today about the new technologies when it comes to Gigabyte, which we're all excited about. Gigabyte's X 3D motherboards that will be here, and it seems like again Nvidia's not going to go ahead and do the supers, unfortunately, and it also seems that we're not going to hear anything soon from Nvidia until probably maybe about this time next year, unfortunately. And so I'm really curious to see what they will end up pulling up. We'll find out soon. And ASUS is about to... I wouldn't be surprised. And you're probably... if they do that, I would be pretty shocked. Prime Wood Edition. Maybe that's what the next stream could be called. Maybe I can get like a wood frame like for my stream like coming up next once I have a chance to fix it up again. Do you think we might get the 9080 XT next year? It's a very high possibility. More than likely we could get a 9080 XT. Apparently Lisa Su has a very large announcement coming for CES coming up and for 2026 between January 3rd to January 6th. I have to see the date that she's attending. Once I get the official information, I'd definitely love to share it with you guys. I will certainly try my best to attend CES this year. And if I get the opportunity to go, which I'm sort of in the process of doing it now, then I will definitely give you guys the latest. I will stream as much as I can. I know last year when I did attempt to stream CS, it's kind of crazy. The signal's not that great over there. But hopefully I get a decent signal so that way I can talk live with you guys about the whole situation for sure. So Wasabi Gemu, while I like the MSI RTX 5090 Supreme Liquid SoC, I don't fit with the white build. Yeah. Do you think, well, thanks for the live stream. It was pretty nice. No problem. Hopefully, whoever enjoyed the stream, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Hopefully, anybody who has enjoyed the stream as well and is a first-time viewer, feel free to subscribe and feel free to join the Discord channel where you can feel free to ask any question that you would like. And we obviously all love to help each other out. So it's already existing. Also, those GPUs have a M.2 slot. I've seen those. I gotta say, it's been those have been pretty interesting for the most part. So, thank you guys again so much for watching. And hopefully I see you guys sometime soon. The next stream will certainly be coming up on Wednesday. I would love to do it tomorrow. If I could do an extra stream, I will. I'll definitely let everybody in Discord know or let everybody that subscribe know as well. Thank you guys again so much for watching. This is Chris Mizo, signing out.